Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D4X again. I almost streamed my Hex Demon game creation because I'm ready to start working on level 2, and I thought that could be interesting. But I really want to get it done with the part converting from Unity to uh, Godot, and we're almost caught up with Unity. And that it only added whatever 3 months of weekend streams or something, 2 months. I don't know. It felt like a really long time. Why did my music stop? There we go. You guys can't hear my music. It's all part of the plan here. Uh, there's a couple of things we got to do here, though. First, and that is and I have this list here. We got to merge to main, which is I don't know why I opened this up. We just need to open up a script here. Which one are we going to be working on? We're going to be creating a new script probably, so it doesn't really matter. You know what? We'll check our AI population before we get started here. So we'll open that one just because, and then once it's open, we will go back and close Godot. I could have opened the README as well. In fact, let's fix the README first because I upgraded Godot to 4.2.1. We talked about that yesterday when I was streaming there. And then we're gonna close this thing. I always try to close Godot when I'm merging and things. So let's put this AI population updated README Godot 4.2.1. This is all we did since yesterday. Oh, that's actually not true. We talked about switches yesterday, and so I had ChatGPT actually write me this switch, and I think it's done right. So it's checking these 3 things, these 4 things, these 3 things. Yes, it's these 3 things. It's kind of complicated because we have a bool getting checked here with these 2 items and then this 3rd thing. And it works. There's some weirdness. I kind of understand it now. Once I get to another one, I think it will be interesting for me to try to write it. This is, like I said, ChatGPT. So that was also if else to a switch. All right, we'll commit this and we'll push it. We'll wait patiently. I just rebooted my computer before I started, and it always makes me worry because on my other computer that I stream with video games with, a bunch of shit breaks when that happens. I have to start like the camera. I have to unplug it from the computer, the back of the computer, and plug it back in. We want to go to here, and then we're going to merge into here, and we're going to hope that there isn't any craziness because that has happened in the past. And then we're going to go up, and then because I'm paranoid, we're going to check. I guess I could have went straight to that one repository. Updated 1 minute ago. There we go. Perfect. Then we can go back to here and we can delete this thing. And then when we do our push today, we'll push to a new branch. I'm trying to do that more regularly because I feel like having all these like lot of stuff on one branch is weird. Because a lot of, I'm especially on Hex Demon, I just work away and then I think, oh shit, I should have pushed this, months ago, and it's like the branch it's on is something that's totally unrelated. Uh, so I'm trying to be more diligent about that. I'm trying to pretend like I'm a professional, it's not working, but that's the plan here. I'm gonna double check all my other shit. That looks like it's working. It's so weird. The YouTube backend is so it, it acts like it's you click on it and it takes 5 minutes. It's not really 5 minutes. It's 2 minutes. No, it's 30 seconds. All right, so let's hit play and see and make sure that this works how I think it works. From yesterday, we might have left some bugs that I didn't notice, so we'll just check this here. Pretty sure we knocked everything out. Take your sweet time there. All right, let's pause it. County improvements. Well, what we didn't test, I don't think, was 2 of them. Let's do 2 of them, and we'll check this. This is scavenging. That's right, because it hasn't hit. It will take a day, basically, for it to go around the clock. So nothing should have changed at this point. Nothing has changed. These things have completed 0 work. That's exactly what we want to see. I wasn't sure that was going to work. And then we just the day should change here. And it should now say building the Fisher Shack, building the Forest Shack. That's great. Let's check our county improvements. It should, oh, we got a problem here. Oh, you know why? I renamed a bunch of stuff. So this, I thought I did drag this over here. Let's look at that again. Maybe it was fine and I just didn't look at it long enough. Max workers, possible building number of workers button. Oh, you know what? This is the switch. This is the switch not working. This is the ChatGPT switch that's busted here. It doesn't work. So we're just gonna comment. I'm gonna fuck with it later. I don't want to fuck with it right now. We'll get rid of this. And well, I'll figure it out. I was surprised that it worked so well right off the bat, and it did not work so well off the bat. With ChatGPT, generally you gotta fuck with them a little bit. In fact, I asked it to convert it, and it like converted just this thing first, and I was like, what? And so we'll roll that back. That's why I had all that code commented out there. Did I save this shit? I did. All right, pause it. Build 2 things. These are right now. And we'll build this thing. And we'll make sure that this guys are all. Then we wait a day to day 1. I can't decide if I want to do real dates. I feel like I kind of don't. That looks good. 0 amount of construction. 0. 2 builders. Oh, that says max amount of workers. That's... Wait, is that right? Let's see. Amount of work, 5. Amount of max workers. This is not right. Max builders. Yeah. But we're not gonna restart it for that. We're gonna close this. Continue on to 5 p.m. 5 p.m. has passed. 5, 2. That looks like that's working. I was a little, because I don't think we tested it with 2 buildings yesterday. I was a little concerned that it wouldn't work. It's interesting is my stream elements is supposed to post. Sometimes it takes an eternity. I don't know about stream elements. I'm finding it very unreliable. I'm going to unpause this. You know, I didn't click on anything. All I did was click the space bar there. Oh, that goes away when it's paused. I guess that's fine. I'm not sure. Let's put a note in that. That's kind of weird. That's going to be combat log or event log is what we called it. But do I have it? I do. So we have the event log. I wish you could link these to the thing and I could just click on it. I also came to the decision the done thing can be way over here. Events, that's a different type of event. We're gonna have like, you know, random events and shit. Known issues. Event log. When you pause the game, the event log is hidden. Just opening my heater up. I'm cold. Yesterday it was too hot, I think. And let's convert this to an issue. I don't think we want that to happen. I know why it's happening. What happens to the event log when time is paused? What? Okay. All right. I guess we already knew about that and I forgot about it. What were we testing here? Okay, these guys are scavenging because it's done. And then this says the influence cost, which was actually supposed to turn that off. And then it's supposed to go to workers, which it did. So this is partially working. If is being built is not equal to true. It shows the under construction thing. Is built equals true. We also need it to amount of construction label. What the fuck is this thing then? Influence cost. Influence cost. We want to have influence cost. Hide as well. This is why I always be at the beginning of a, you know, it's like fresh eyes. Oh, look, this has it on there. So those will be closed. Do we want anything else to be on here? It will just be these three things for now. And I think that is correct. They're actually not going to do anything yet. All we want them to do is, we're not going to test this. I guess we have to test it. God damn it. I was just going to wing it and go, but I know that like what happens if I don't test it is, you know, a couple of weeks from now, I'll be like, why the fuck is it doing this weird bug? And this does look like it's all working. Oh, I must have typed in whatever there to that description. That's a terrible test description. I thought that was a bug. All right, so we have one more day to go. Yeah, and this actually, I wasn't sure if this was gonna work, where it actually, because I'm using HBox or whatever, it just centered all these up. This one's still under construction. It's gonna take an eternity. I guess we'll just speed it up and we'll just wait for a second. One more day. All right, so that all works. With those few little changes, everything is working there. So what's next? What's next is we have AI faction. We don't actually want that to be a child of this. We're going to put it above here. And so what this will do is the factions, it will go through all of the factions and say, do you want to build something basically. That is the plan here. We're going to attach a script called AI factions, and we're going to browse to here. We're going to open this script. We're going to go grab my script from Unity. Like I said, I think this might be I think we're very close to the end here. I'll probably have to look through it, you know, and see if there's any scripts that we have the banker, we have building improvements, we have stacking, county info, county list creator. We got rid of that. Here's the faction AI. I think this is the one we actually want. Faction game object generation. We don't need that anymore. Globals. What was this other shit? Hierarchy list, random color, select county, timekeeper, which I'm calling the clock in this one. Work, yeah, all those have been created, or now we have 1 million of these. So the army panel, we're not doing that way. It's going to be part of the hero thing. Hero info panel, spawn buttons, population info, research panels. Yeah, that's all there. And then this crap is just crap. So this is it. This is the final thing that we got to do. So let's copy all of this stuff. It could go a little slower for us. And we're going to go to AI faction here. And we're going to paste all this stuff. We don't need this. We might need that ready, but we can figure it out. We need a namespace in here. And I might, you know, I was putting in the namespace originally just to get rid of the message where it tells me to put in a namespace. I find it quite annoying, honestly. All these messages. And the bummer is that I can't get rid of some of these messages because it tells you a message, but you can't really get rid of it because it's needed. It says, you know, put static here, and then if you put static here, the thing doesn't fucking work. So this is faction data. This is a list of counties. Counties the faction owns. Is that the way we were doing that? County the factions own. Let's close some of this crap. We're definitely going to be working on this a bunch today, so let's pin it. How are we keeping track of these things? So they have a resource. Each faction has a resource. And so it's called faction data. Let's look at the real deal here. So we're not keeping track currently of the counties the faction owns. The county, I bet you, keeps track of which faction it is. It does. So maybe we don't need to keep track of that right now. I'm trying to keep track as little as possible. So how would it work then? Let me think about this. So it's going to go to the faction. It's going to say, hey, do you have enough food? And it's going to be like, no, I don't have enough food. And if it doesn't have a list of the factions or the counties it owns, it would have to go through every county and be like, do you own this county? Do you own this county? Do you own this county? For all of eternity. And we only have like 4 of them right now, or 5 of them. 4 of them? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But when we have 500, that would be an eternity. So instead, we would want to keep a list of the thing that I was just saying we probably didn't need. So let's put this over here. And then we were going to need a list of county data, I believe. But so then so this is where it gets weird, is the county list of county data also has the faction in it. And so are we doing a loop? It's a loop. And then, so if you went to look at the county data, then it has the faction data, which has the county data, which has the faction data, which has the county data, which has the faction data forever. But we're going to pretend like I don't care about that. Unity would warn you if you did that. I don't think it did it with lists, though. So what do we got here? Is player, faction name, faction color. We'll put this faction info in here. Faction capital county. This is an int? What? Why did I make that an int? So the way it's doing that is it's getting the child. So we have a list, we have all of our count. We can close this thing for now. All of our counties are here, and it's being assigned the number of the child number of that. I guess we could do that. Once again, I think the reason I did that was to avoid, where'd it go? To avoid having a county data in there that has the faction data, that has the county data, that has the faction data. It's an endless loop. I don't know if it fucking matters, but I feel like it does. It's gotta fucking matter, right? So we can do it. Then we'll do a list here, and we'll call it. We'll have a public list of county data, and we're gonna call this counties faction owns, and we'll go back to here. The one thing we could do is it could always be the top one. It always could be 0. Because we can add this in. Where was that faction generation shit? I don't know, hopefully we won't need this again today. Hopefully we won't need that. Hopefully we won't need that. We actually probably are going to need the thing, the banker. County improvements control. We might need that. I guess we'll open it later. Dialog box we shouldn't need. Player controls we shouldn't need. Research control we shouldn't need. County population generation we may need. No, we don't. Faction data we need. County improvement data. We might actually need that. I don't think it needs to be pinned though. County data. Yeah, this might be a problem. We'll find out soon enough. I wonder if Godot will warn us. So what the fuck was I just doing? Oh, we gotta assign the county. And that was under faction generation, I believe. Actually, you know how we can find this? Let's just do this again. Create faction leaders. What did I make this a list of? County data. Do we want it to be the select county? So select county is the top script, basically. What would we need? So we actually have this set up for a test too. We have a county data right here. Trying to think if we would need those, the actual select county. What do we have in select county? Let's look. Maybe we would need some stuff here. This is the reason it has this name is because, so as the capital sprite and the hero spawn, I don't think we would need that. And if we have to change it later, it's not the end of the world. So let's go back to this. County data is fine. We're going to say faction. Do we have faction data in here? We do somewhere. Where did we get this thing? We're passing it in. Okay. Faction data dot counties faction owns add. There we go. So that's going to add the faction, the first one, but in our test here, if we hit play, I guess, the player faction actually starts with 2. Well, we just busted it at something because this is all right. We can't. The player faction actually starts with 2. We probably don't need this open anymore either. So how are we doing that? We might just have to write a little new thing, which isn't that big of a deal. If county data is the player, we do that. That generates the population. County population generation. We might need to do it just to have another little script that assigns this shit. It might actually make this generation better too. We could go through each faction instead of each county. But you know, I think it's better to go through each county in that particular case. The county data is something I'm manually doing. Just double checking here. I'm almost 100% positive. Yeah, these are resources that I'm manually doing here, and so they get assigned the faction data. So there's a couple of different ways we could do this. We could have a script. Oh, what does this thing do? Okay, so this is going through actually and assigning. We could put this right here. We could put another thing in this method and have it assign the county data to each faction that is owned to that list. So let's assign county data to faction. We'll just say faction. And then what we'll do, we might be able to like get rid of some of this crap. Does this happen first? It does. So we're gonna have to rewrite this population generation, but that's okay. I knew that I'd be rewriting this whole game multiple times. At the beginning, I said twice. Now it's 10. Now it's 10 times. For each node in, it's right here. Oh wait, I'm copying. I'm trying to train myself to do copying different. Instead of selecting the whole thing, for each one of these, we're going to say, see, I want to do, this is what I want to do. I want this to say select county, but this gives me an error down here. Let's actually comment out this shit just for a second here. We'll fix all this stuff in a minute. Hey, where'd you all go? Okay. All right. So I would like this to say select county, but it starts getting start isn't even something used in Godot. It starts getting upset about that. I probably have one already in here. Doesn't look like it. And I wish I've Googled it multiple times and I can't figure out what its problem is. So if I go select county and then select county in here, you know, this obviously can be named whatever. It will start complaining about it here. For each statements and implicitly convert Godot.node to add in a cast. Like, what? It's weird. It always complains. So now I've started doing this node, and this is going to be the same thing. And we can just convert it for each one of these nodes. We'll convert it to that. Then we're going to say if oh, this is going to get weird. See, I don't think this is a good idea. So what we would do, this faction data is empty. Is this already, are we already doing this somewhere? I feel like this is, why is that empty? Why don't we just, oh, this one says player faction. What's going on here? This is the only one that's empty. This should be, let's drag it over. Faction 1. How is that ever ran at all? Yeah, this is not ran. You know, and we're going to want to change that eventually too. Come on. Yeah, so, huh. I'm just going to run a little quick test here. Today's Friday, right? It should have already busted. If that's so bizarre that. So basically what we could do is, but see how convoluted this is? It's like adding itself to itself. Like it already knows the faction data, but it's adding it to the list. I mean, let's see what happens if I do that. I have a feeling like that's a huge no-no. Like I feel like it's going in a fucking loop forever. It didn't implode, but it's getting added to a list. Yeah, this is some convoluted shit here. Did I make this faction data thing? Let's see. Faction data. I don't think I can see inside this. I wonder. Oh, right. It won't even let you. I wonder. How do I do this again? It's a Godot collections dictionary. Let's put this down here. And I think you go like ints, comma. I had one. No. Uh, county data. I'm going from memory here. Counties faction owns. Let's see if it will let me look inside of it. I just want to be able to see inside. I tried this another time and it did not. Now my question is this ad. Yeah, this does not work. I think we got to do like 0 or something. There we go. I cannot believe I remembered that shit. So we're going to add this at 0. We don't really want that to happen. I mean, it's fine right now, but let's comment this out actually. So the problem with it being at 0 is, well, we got a problem anyways, is that it's going to put hey, film, how's it going? I almost said, how's life in the fast lane again? I'm gonna look up how you add to a Godot collection again. Godot dictionary add. Creates an empty dictionary. Um, I don't see. I remember doing this exact same thing. I have 2 of these open. Add a value to a dictionary. This is in 2021. I almost said 2001. 20 years ago. He made a dictionary. An array append. Append is maybe what I need. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I'll just put it back to being a list, and I'll just deal with not being able to see inside of it. Who gives a shit, right? We'll figure it out. Uh, this has to go. That needs to be there. We'll fix this thing. And we'll just fix this. And I think when I tested it, you couldn't see inside it anyways. So it was pointless. Because I had a test at the beginning. There was someone was in chat. Chat was saying like you should do a Godot dictionary. So I had a list and a dictionary right next to each other so I could compare them. And then it turns out that I like the lists, how lists work better. I gotta change my music that you guys can't hear. All right, I gotta do more than that. And I'm getting text messages. Jesus Christ. What's the world coming to? Okay. So if we add that to, I still feel like this is a weird loop. But it is a list, so then they'll have a list of that, and it's going to add all of them to the list. And this thing we commented out over here is actually we don't need, because it will already be on the list. And so this is what I was thinking. If we made the capital always 0 on the list, we wouldn't need. Yeah, that's currently what it is with how we're doing this, but that's just a coincidence because it's going down these and it's hitting 0 first for the player faction, and then it hits Portland first, and that's your capital, so it's being put on there, and Wasco is being put second, so we would actually already know. I guess I should put a note about this shit too, so I can remember at some point what we were doing. This should probably be under this right here. We could, well, let's put a different, let's put a different one. Factions are, we could change how the faction capital is stored. Currently, it is an int of the child of the county's parent, but instead we could make sure it is always 0 in the faction data dot counties faction owns. I hit save on a website. Like always, hitting save on websites. So basically, when we finish this first thing, we're gonna go back through this list and we're gonna like go through all of these notes and stuff. Now, man, we have tooltips on here. Tooltips are needed, but I gotta look at them. Anyways, we're gonna go through all of these again and improve them and keep going through the list and improving. So that's why it's I'm not like just putting this off into some fucking graveyard. where we'll never look at it again. All right, so this should be fine. We have the list of everything the faction owns. So then if we go to here, this looks to me like we did need ready. Override. Void. And then this, well, we can get rid of that too, is going to be the clock. It's going to do that. So days started. It looks like I renamed that. What did I call this now? Hour zero is what it's called now, which makes more sense than days start, because that can be anything. Hour zero. All right, so first run is actually not that useful. I don't remember why I originally set it up that way, but so it happens. I don't even think we need this. I'm gonna get rid of it. Were we using it in our? Yeah, we're not using it. We could. I'm gonna comment it out for now, because I don't think it's that critical. The idea behind this is because the hour zero happens on hour zero. When you start the game, hour zero, it's on hour zero, so it doesn't trigger hour zero. So I had first run at 1 a.m. But I mean, it's not that critical that things happen on the first day. It's when day 2 comes in that things start becoming critical. So I think we'll just get rid of first run for now. And then let's change this to, let's just go through this basically and update this shit. See, look how dumb I had some shit in here. We don't have faction data. We're calling it faction. We're not going to call it faction. We're going to call it faction data. And we need to assign this. This is going to run through. Oh, did I have this I had this assigned to each faction. So in Unity, the factions were getting generated an actual game object, like similar to like a node. And so I had like these nodes with all the factions, and we might do that later, but I don't think it's necessary right now. They just kind of float around in the ether. So we could do that. It might be nice to have it. Where would they live? They would live as probably as babies of this thing. So let's think about that here. Where did it go? Faction generation, everything, each new step has a bunch of stuff we got to build the infrastructure for. Whoops. Yeah, so it loads all of these from, this wouldn't actually be that hard to do. And it might be kind of nice to look at this. The faction data, I don't think anything's exported, is it? Oh no, a bunch of shit's exported. It would actually be kind of nice to be able to see that stuff. So let's just do this, and it won't be that hard to do. It won't be that hard to do at all. The only problem we're gonna get is when we have 50 fucking million of them. Where are our UI? No, I'm calling them prefabs over here, which I don't like anymore either. So we're gonna need a new scene. We'll just make one. It's not gonna be a node. It's just gonna be a node. That's not where I wanted that. One of my frustrations with Godot. This will just be called faction node, and we're gonna attach a script to it. That we'll call. That big long pause was me thinking about what I was gonna call the fucking thing, like it matters. We'll call it faction node, and we'll get rid of this shit, and we're just gonna have. Gonna have all this data floating around. Maybe we'll want to use this later. And then we're on here. When we go through, we're getting these all from disk, and we're going to add a new thing in here. And then we'll go like this. What does that say? Faction? And then we'll go like this. And we'll go like this. We're going to need up here. We're going to need to export. We probably need to make this a packed scene or some shit. Packed scene. Faction node. Then down here, we'll go. Uh, Spawn? No, it's not going to be spawn. It's going to be called. It doesn't really matter. It's. I guess I could just call it faction. This is going to be. See, the problem is we can't call it faction node because we're calling this thing. I guess we could call this packed scene. Just to solve this problem. Oh, we're gonna need another thing here. What's your problem? You want to be a faction node. And then we're gonna need. Actually, it's this. It is this that it's. And then. Let's put it actually up here. Faction node dot faction data. I guess is it private? Sure did. Okay, so It's going to add the starting research. It's going to add this faction node. We got all these errors over here. Let's go back and comment this shit out again. And this shit out just so I can run it. Just want to make sure that that thing works before we wait patiently. Oh, this shouldn't be here. In fact, I fucked this all up. This needs to be a scene. This needs to be a scene down here. And maybe we'll add more shit to it, but I don't think we're going to need to. Oh, I see. No, we don't need the parent because it knows what the parent is. See, I was able to put things in. What's special about this array? So the other day, I tried to put something in an array and it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't let me drag shit over there. Like it had the spots, but it just wouldn't let me. I must have had, maybe I had the wrong type, the wrong cast or some shit. So oh, this is what was happening. Is that it was there was nothing in there, but it's there. Well, that blows that whole idea. That whole idea is ruined. I wanted to just be able to see this. I wonder if I'm doing something wrong or if this is a limitation of like C sharp. And this happened before, and this has happened back with the test with the Godot collection. What is this faction data here? Global instance factions is getting added over to here. I need to put some things in here. There's a lot of stuff going on. Oh, here's their globals. The game's running in the background. Where are my factions? Is it it's a list, so I can't. Current selection. No. Current document. Yeah, it's a list, so we can't see inside of it. I wonder, I'm going to Google this. I'm curious because I think I saw. It's not even Godot resource empty C sharp. Okay, he's talking about something else. Wah, wah. The bug will occur if the value is apparent as sibling. I'm not sure whether it's a bug. It does work when node path is used. Of the same issue. Properties list. See, I'm not getting any bugs. I'm not getting any errors or warnings or anything. Um, this is similar. This is somewhat recent too. I'm glad other people have noticed this. There's so much silence. So the one way we can test this, and I did this test before, is after we assign it. Where was this thing? We can do two. Actually, we should do two things. This is kind of pointless. No, that's not what I want. I want. So we'll just change the name there. You know how we can test this though is do this. This is redundant. But if this thing isn't assigned, if this assignment isn't working, then this wouldn't work. Did I save this shit? I did. Now I'm going to take a quick break. Yeah, I mean, it's working. You just can't see this shit. It says it's open or empty. And that's not even a list. That's just a straight up public. Okay, there is no namespace. Maybe that's the problem. Right? Space. That's got to be the problem. It's not. But, I mean, maybe it is, but I highly doubt it. Let me get rid of all these spaces here, too. We could have deleted this node there as well. Yeah, it just shows as empty. I wonder how he did that. I think but this isn't a list. Huh. There's another person who's working on his name's Wayne. He's in chat sometimes. He's working on this thing that's in the README actually called I shouldn't leave that there. Universal Game System. I don't know, I have a fork of it. The Grand Strategy Map System. I'm wondering how he did it. He's moving everything to C# as well, and it's like a thing that's generating the map from cutting up a picture. he puts a picture that's, an image that's the map, and then another one that's color coded by every county, and it cuts them all up and creates them like a mask. So, or yeah, mask. So when you click on it, it gets, highlighted or whatever. It's pretty awesome. I'm wondering how he's doing it if he cannot see them either if they're empty. I don't know where I'd find that. I don't know how I would. He has a map data. Huh. I'm gonna Google it one more time here. Let's go back and look, and then I'm gonna take a quick break. It's weird. That's not the problem. Let's do last year, past year. Okay, what does this thing say? It's a duplicate. Close. This is not planned. What do you mean? Same bug. I see the same, but also an additional bug where the nested resources are deleted when the resource script is modified. Oh God, that's a terrible bug. Oh, I can't believe that dude noticed that. Holy shit. You would just be running it and, going and looking at your code, clicking in there. Oh my God, that's fucking horrible. Um, maybe you have to, maybe you have to like do something, like put something there. What is this? These have been around forever. These are all duplicates. If there's so many duplicates, man, who merges this shit? This guy likes to go and close it and archive it. I guess that's what you're supposed to do. But Jesus Christ, man, is this one closed? What is this? It's a new issue. This is, oh, it's closed. So how do we get to the one where it's still happening? I don't know how that works. It's happening with their official close this as completed. Shit isn't completed. The fuck out of here. I really wish they had a better system of however they do this. I really wish they. Let's see how many issues there. Oh my God. When I switched over from Unity, it was at 8,500. Now they're at 9,200. Uh, export resource. I thought this was. I thought this was a C sharp thing, but maybe it's not a C sharp thing. Let's put in C sharp in here. I don't see. Maybe I have to build it. Maybe it's like something dumb where I have to build it. But it won't be there. It won't be there. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing this whole time. Jesus fucking Christ. I haven't done that in a long time. When I first started, I did that so many times. Oh my god. What a fucking fool. All right. Well, that was solved. Let's do this again. I'm blushing. I don't know if you can tell. Um, all right, I'm gonna take a break in a second here, though. Oh, I need to delete this one. I want to run. I want to double check this again. I've done that so many times at the beginning. I thought I was finally over it. Okay, so this looks good, and it's just here for. Wait, is it? Okay, they don't have any stuff yet, but I should. I should have stuff. Yes. Okay. Whew. Good God. All right, I'm gonna hit stop on this, and then I'm gonna go take a break, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes, if I can find my stop music button, and then if I can find my break timer. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. You know how there's like rage quitting in video games? There needs to be like an embarrassment quitting. Just stream ended. It was an accident. All right, there we go. That's there for no apparent reason. What do we needed next? We needed. Oh, I gotta start my music that you guys can hear. Uh, I needed for this now. This is done. then we need to go to our county generation. That's done. Then we need to go to our faction AI. Now that we have this, we can put this back, and then we're going to go, this is going to go inside. How the fuck did I do this before? This is done. Huh. I don't know what I was doing here. We need to have it's this thing is the parent. So we go for each node in get children. I see that. Oh, it fixed it. Then we're gonna. I don't know how the fuck I was doing this before. It's not. Where's it getting the faction? It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Then this is gonna be at the bottom. We'll get rid of this thing. And then we'll go like that. So it's going to go for each faction. Then we'll do faction data. Faction equals faction data node. No, it's faction node dot node dot. Can we do that? I don't. It's not going to let us. We're going to have to do it to. See, I want to just put. Well, we can't. We can't do it. So we'll go. It was about to do it for me, I think. Yep. No, kind of. And then this is going to be. I like these two steps. Wait. Action data. There we go. Nope, it doesn't like this, huh? Oh, because that's not a. There we go. Whew. We did it. Okay, we don't need that. There we go. So now we have a faction in here. Check enough food. So this is our banker, which we currently have an instance of, and I'm still not sure if that's what we want. Is an instance. I'm going to double check something here. I'm surprised chat didn't point out that I was being an idiot earlier. Generally, they're the quickest. That's the first thing they want to do. You know, is make sure that I know I'm an idiot. Check for. So this is why we kept all this stuff down here, is for this exact thing. We're going to need this one. And this is going to be a faction data. And this is going to be a new global. And so this is like a number, like if the let's call this player faction BS. If the faction is below a certain amount of food, it knows that it needs more food. So we're gonna make this a global thing here. You know, we also had this thing. I forgot about this. We could have just went through each one of these. We still could. In fact, I would prefer that, I think. I don't know where we're assigning that shit, but I'm just going to assume that we are. I actually think I would like that better. Where is our faction? We can close this faction node thing. We definitely need that later. It's pinned right here. AI faction, is that really? AI factions. You know what? This shouldn't be called that. We're going to close this. This should be called faction AI like it was in Unity. Uh, because it's the factions AI, not the uh, they are AI factions. And then we're going to open this again, and we're going to call this. Whoops. And then we're going to go back over here. They're all. And this should actually probably be called Population AI 2. We'll fix this later. Well, no, we'll just fix it right now. We'll just fix it right now. I don't have an open, so that's good. We're going to break a bunch of shit doing this. Oh, you know what? I should have renamed this. Go back this way. Just in case we used it somewhere. All right, so we probably broke a bunch of shit, but we'll fix it as we go. I'm going to get this out of here permanently. So it needs to go through for each faction in the fuck. It does too. It's right there. This is public. What am I doing? Faction data. Faction. For each faction data in globals dot instance dot factions. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Then we can just get rid of this stuff. That must have been no. I didn't have that for each in there. I was very confused why that how that I was doing this before. Then go back to our banker thing, and we still need this. This still needs to exist. And we're gonna go back here. Minimum AI faction AI food faction food minimum. Let's put it hero shit, county shit, player faction shit. Yeah, this is gonna be faction shit, and then we're gonna go export public int, and I think I'm just gonna name this minimum food because we might have like advisors and stuff, and it will minimum food will work. Like if the minimum food, whatever. So this is now. It's gonna check for the food that there's the minimum food on the bank. Where's my banker? You're gonna pin here. Not population AI. You're gonna pin here. So if the faction food is greater than or equal to the minimum food, it's gonna return a bool. And if the bool is false, so we don't have enough, we're gonna have to rewrite all this stuff. we're going to have, what is this thing? This is going to be a county improvement data. And this we're going to call it a food building, and we're going to actually call it a food building. And the food building is going to equal this banker thing. Find food building. Oh, this is a big one. And this has to be rewritten. This is, what is it doing? It's returning a county improvement data, and we're passing in the faction. We're using a lot of resources in this. So it looks to me, we can just do this. And then we're having a list of county data, it looks like. No. What did I call this? County data. Oh, but this isn't, this is a list of select somethings or others. No, it is a list of county data. Oh, you know what? I bet you it needs, yep. All right, so it's going to make this list equal this list. And it's going to go, once again, we can just change this to a for each, I think. Yeah, we can just do a for each in here. For each, county data and counties. What are we doing with this transform over here? Why are we doing that? What are we doing here? Let's just get rid of this. I don't know. We're going to rewrite this whole thing, it looks like. But this part is on there, right? So we get the faction. We get a list of the counties. For every county in the county data, we're going to go through for each counties, for each county data, nope, for each county improvements data, county improvement data in counties. All right, this is our thing. This is going to be a problem. I don't think we have a list here. County data. We'll pin you as well. All county improvements. We do have it. So I was wondering this the other day, yesterday when we were doing this. I was wondering if we were taking this out of here. So when we start constructing it, we're not taking it out of there. Which is kind of interesting that we're not taking it out of there. I feel like we should have we should have two lists, but maybe I don't know what my logic was behind that. This is already county data. So in county data, all county improvement, whoops, all county improvements here. I guess we're going to go through all of them. If county data improvement dot is being built I guess it is better to, we do need that list in this particular circumstance because we need to check, like, are there any buildings being built? If they're already being built, we don't want to build them. If county improvement is being built, so, but that's not what we need to check first. We need to check if it's a food building. Resource data dot food. What did we call it? What did we call that? Resource type is equal to that. No, we can do this too. And county improvement dot is being built is equal to false, and county improvement is built is equal to false. This might be a time for one of those switch things. A pattern, switch pattern thing. All right, so it goes through the counties. The counties data. I kind of want to call this like counties data because it's multiple of them. It's a list, so I'm going to do that. So if it's a food and it's not being built, and so actually we're going to want to do it this other way. We're going to say true if either one of these are, if there's one being built. So yeah, we might want to switch for this. And I looked it up. And switches, it said, if you have multiple options, switches are definitely way, way faster. So I don't know. I was thinking that maybe I was misremembering, and it was like, I remembered half of a sentence from 30 years ago where it was like, if statements are faster if there's only two options. Otherwise, use a switch. And then I'm just, otherwise use a switch because switches are way slower for two options. And so maybe in my mind, I just remembered switches are way slower. So if the resource is a food and is being built, we need to get out of here. We're going to return null. I see what I did here. That's a good idea. Good. Thanks, Past Josh. County, we need a squigs, county improvement data, improvement name. We need another squigs, is already being built. And then we're going to return null. So it's going to return this thing back null, and then we'll just do like a null check. So that's for this part, but what if it's already built? We actually don't care, because like if it's already built and they still don't have enough food, then it doesn't matter. We need to start except the problem with that is, let's say the minimum food value is 100 and they eat down to 50, so they're 50 below. They kick in this building starts producing, but it's going to just keep trying to build food buildings forever. So if it starts producing, until it's going to keep trying to build food buildings until it gets up to 100. But it definitely needs to know that it's a resources food. So let's think here. So do we want it? Do we want it like if it's being built, Because what we could do is something dumb. We can go to like this. Is built. Then we would need like to check the minimum again. We would have like, we could check the minimum and be like, hey, if it's below the minimum by half, then we wouldn't do one. Like if we could go like and globals dot instance dot minimum food is less than faction. You know, I'm going to rename this too. Uh, so that's still not going to solve my problem, actually. The problem of it just continually trying. Right now, we only have, what do we got? We got two. What type of food? I think we got two food things. So we can check. So at least this, we have two items that we can check. So that will work for testing. So we do have to figure this out. So they have 100 food. 100 food is the minimum food amount that they have before they start building food stuff, let's say. They're at 50 food because for some reason they ate 50 food in one day. They go to build a building, it only makes 5 food a day, so they'll be at 55 the next day when the check comes in. They're still going to be below that. So it's going to build another one even though it's going up. So the better way to check this would be to see if your surplus or your production is lower than your consumption. That would be a much better way to check this. I would have to rewrite everything because we're not even keeping track of production versus we're not keeping track of production at all. But that would be a much better way to do it. In fact, we could do that. But currently, the buildings don't produce anything. We would have to make them produce something. Oh, we have this daily resource generation amount. When the fuck did I add that? Okay, so we would need to add some stuff if we were going to do that. It would be a much better way. It'd be a much better way to keep track of it instead of minimum. So you could do both. You would check both. Like, is your production low and your amount that you have? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to not do that. What we're going to do is we're going to add something to this list. And we're going to county improvements here. We have a lot of things in county improvements. No, it's not going to be under, it's going to be under faction AI, and it's going to be, or AI faction. It should be called faction AI too. Next round. We're going to add that part to the next round. This is definitely, a thing we have to do, though. And at some point, I want to have the factions have like a personality. So they'll like, uh, some of them will be like builders, and some of them will be like explorers, and some of them will be warmongers. Right now, we're not gonna. We're not. What is this? Do we even need this shit? This shit. All right. This is gonna be under county improvements, faction AI. I mean, we're gonna go check for building for county improvements with both a minimum of a resource in storage and how much the faction produces. So that will be our check. And then what we're going to do is not there. Banker, where are you? The banker, we might actually want to change the name. So if there's one being built, it's not going to build another one, but it will build. We'll just have it. Well, right now we'll just have it. If somehow it gets the negative, 50 below the minimum, they'll just keep building buildings like madmen. But that's okay. So this check will just say if the county improvement equals this resource, which is food, because that's where we're finding a food building, and the county improvement data is being built as true, it returns null because you already have a building in the queue basically. Otherwise, it's going to return county improvement. And I think, what is this other shit we got here? Oh, wait. Lord Mac, how's it going? That was weird. On my side, the message you posted like slowly typed out. um, county data. So yeah, that's going to return that. I don't think we need this other shit. Found building. I guess we should do a print thing. We got a squigs in here and improvement. What do I got wrong? County improvement. Oh, I got 2 dots. That would be the problem. We'll just have that. I was going to say we were put that it's being built, but it actually is not doing that yet. So this part we fixed, or whatever. Oh, this is saying what? That's kind of that's a good thing. Found in, it's saying what county it found it in. And I like that county name. All right. Like that idea from my past. Once again, thank you, Josh, from the past Josh. And then this is, if it can't, So it goes. Let's say it goes through this. I think this is what this is. If it goes through the whole list, but that's not true. If it goes through the whole list, let's say, and there's none of them, so it has to. We have to. It has to match one of these two. Um, I think. So let's say it cannot. Oh, there's a problem with my whole concept here. This is wrong. So let's say that this thing fails right off the bat, and it's wood. It's going to start building a wood building. It's going to return the wood building. So if that is that, that works for that. And then if we do an else if, and we just say like we don't. Maybe I can test out that switch thing because I think I need a third one, and then the final else is it just no food building found. No, because you know what's going to happen here is it's going to it's going to try to build a food building that's already built. So we're going to need to go uh, to false. There's got to be, I think, I'm trying to get it to when it goes through the list of, so there's a list of all the different factions that you would be playing against as the player. Uh, and it's got to decide, it checks another thing like, do you have enough food? And then if there's not enough food, it's got to find a building from the list to see if it has a building that can be built. So the one way we could do this that actually might be a better option because they will, if their resource equals this, we'll just embed a couple of these. And I moved this over from Unity, so it's all a bunch of this. So I already had this working in Unity, but I'm like kind of rewriting, and it's Unity's different, but also it's I've learned things since Unity. And sometimes my old Unity code is uh, helpful. Sometimes it is not. Sometimes it's the opposite of helpful, actually. It's what the fuck am I doing in this code? And why did I do it this way? All right, so it's going to go through the first one. It's going to go through this list and it's going to be like, hey, is this a food place? And it is. It's like a Fisher Shack or something. Is it being built? Return null. And it's out of there. Then it goes to the next one and it's like, let's say it's not being built. It needs to return that thing, that county improvement, and then that needs to be the end of this run, right? But what is your problem here? Oh, right, we gotta have a return null. at the end of these because it's got to return something. We'll just do this. All right, so it goes through the first one. We know it's a fishing shack or whatever it is. I think it's a fishing shack. It goes through and it's like, hey, is it food? And it's like, yes, it's food. Is it being built? No, it's not being built. Build it. Return the county improvement. It's done. It goes to the next building now. Is it food? It's not a food. It's like a fucking forester shack or some shit. So then it's like, no, it's return null. I wonder, is this gonna bust out of the for each loop? I don't know how this works. Is this gonna bust out? Because if it returns null right here, that's if it's one of these two. I don't think I'm doing this right. Exactly. And currently it's just food is what we're gonna check for. And I have two buildings in the food list. We're trying to make it. I'm trying to make it as like that simple as possible. So how the fuck was I doing this before? Where it was, what was it passing in? It was passing in. I think that however I was doing it before was better. Oh, you know what it was doing? Find food building was this thing that we're. Let me look at. I'm gonna open this code up. I think maybe I had a different idea that might have been better actually. Uh, I just closed this earlier. What was I call it? Faction AI. Check for. Oh no, we needed the banker. We need the banker. And I should probably rename that to something else, but so let's double check this. So it checks for building buildings. If there's not enough food, it looks. This is such a weird. It's not a Godot thing. I just named it banker because it handles the money. But then it also handles like if you're gonna be, it should be called like the concierge or something. It's like your advisor. Uh, so this is doing it. The banker find food building. So it gets the list. It goes through the list. And then for each building in the list, it says, is it true or is being built true? And then it just returns null. Oh, that's not what it's doing. It's kind of doing that. And then for each one of these, it must end the second it finds a food building. That's must be how that return works. I'm still like, it's like I used it a bunch before and then I forgot how it works. So I kind of like, this idea that I had down here. I don't know where I'm putting this. We'll just stash it right here. So if is being built or is built is equal to true, then just get the fuck out of here. You're done. Actually, we need to get rid of this. And then else. Wait, did I have two ifs in a row there? I think I did. So then if the building I think this is another switch thing. There's something weird going on here. There we go. I don't know if this is going to work when there's multiple counties. I don't think it is, but let's run it, and we're going to pass in here. County improvement. What are we passing to you here? I've suddenly we're just passing the faction data. Jesus Christ. We're gonna pass in faction here. Faction. Didn't I just tell myself I was renaming this to faction data though? Okay. Then we're gonna comment out all this other shit. And then what is this down here? You can go away too temporarily. I feel like this is not gonna work, but it's a similar thing was working in Unity. So let's see here. We'll get some errors, that's for sure. We're gonna wait until time 0 happens. I guess that's one thing. Day 0. It should have. It passed in the faction data. Oh, we don't have a minimum. We don't have anything in those points. Where's the banker? So we need a couple of things here. We need minimum food of 100. It's because that was having issues with when the pausing was happening and whatnot. So I had to like have a test in there. That one I could probably take out. Get out of here. Go away. I need to click on what's below you. Yeah, so there's a pause and unpause thing, but yeah, a lot of those are like, I try to get rid of some of those as I go. So let's see here. the banker will do that, but when will this do it? Check enough food. The banker checks enough food when the faction food is less than or equal to the minimum food, which we had a 0 in there before. Is greater than or equal to minimum food. Check enough food. If the food is greater than, it returns true. Otherwise, okay, so I just put 100 in here for the wherever that was, minimum food. So now, before it was just like, it was always returning false, so it wasn't. And now I kind of understand the need for that other thing. Wonder who's doing this. It's finding stuff, but who's doing that? Whoops. Daction data. Come on, come on, dude. Help me out here. Help me out here, fingers. So it's hitting that one. Let's make sure the return is working though, because that's, I don't know if it is. So this is here, GD prints, food building. Yeah, I also like to put silly shit in the GD stuff. The logs, because you gotta, I feel like you get demoralized sometimes when you're programming, so you gotta try to keep your spirits up with bullshit. Workday is over. Okay, wait, what does this say? Okay, so this is working. This is working exactly how we wanted it to work. Even though I was very apprehensive of that. So there is another thing I guess we should check. We should make one of these factions have enough food. We'll make faction 2 have 5,000 food. And even though that says resource building, whatever, yeah, I totally understand now why. You know what? We do need that. I was like, why did I put that in there? We don't need that. We do need this. Did I delete the whole thing? The fuck did it go? We do need this first run here, because immediately we need the factions to start building or not. Otherwise, they'll be a day behind the player if the player's quick to the gun there. I don't know if they would be, but they could be. So we need, and also we won't have to wait a day. All right. And now I'm going to go take a quick break. Yeah, there's another person who comes into chat, Lord Mac, named Joker, and he likes to put the rainbow stuff in the the GD prints here. So some of these that I have commented out, you'll see them like rainbow, and then when you put in improvement name here, I'm gonna fix this. You go like print, and then you go like, I think it's, no, rainbow. I think it's like that, and then it prints it like in a rainbow thing. So you gotta keep, like I said, the spirit going. So the first run is the AI doing the resource cache. So it's not. It runs at 1 a.m. So the game starts at midnight, but it happens exactly at midnight. So the first, like the hour zero thing doesn't trigger, and then at 1 a.m. the factions are gonna check for the first run, and then after that at midnight, um, because it can't hit the zero. Because the zero has already happened basically when the game starts. It's on zero, but zero has already happened, so it doesn't fire the event. But I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Like, I like this taste in my mouth like I ate a bunch of chocolate ice cream, but I haven't had chocolate ice cream in like 3 weeks, so I don't know what's going on. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had all these text messages from work because it's a Friday, and I bought um, I've been buying these refurbished computers for off of Amazon for like 2 years now, and they all work great. And this most recent batch, they're all fucking busted. it's a it's a problem. If the food building is not null, we don't need this. Diving the total diving. That's not what we want. All right, so this is back when we used to assign the population manually to the buildings. We don't do that anymore. So we just find the building, and if it's not null, because it can return null, if there's no buildings to build, it can return null. What the fuck is this? Okay, it's checking the building cost. If the building cost, so is this thing actually working? It looks like it is. What is the building cost check? Okay, so what we're gonna do, if there's money, if there's enough money, we don't care about this anymore. We just say build it. Faction data. What's your problem? County data. Are we passing in county data to this thing? I don't feel like we should be. How has this ever worked? Oh, I see what we did. All right, no, that's fine. County data. Now we need to pass in. We need to change this. This should be passed in faction data. It's going to break it over here, but it's fine. And this is going to be this. It's going to break it when we did the other thing, but it will tell us down here, and I'll go fix it once we're there. All right. If the faction has enough money, then, well, building costs, it's currently influence. Then we build the building. Wow, well, what is this? Called building improvements, but it's now called county improvements. It's actually now called county. How did we do this? Generate, these are the buttons, clear improvements. It was actually under, get this out of here. We don't need this running in the background. We had, man, I just did this yesterday. We have work. I think I put it under work, actually. Workday over, work check complete. No, you know what I did? And we're gonna need it. I did it stupidly. We need it to actually, the banker needs to, well, we need this too. I must have done this all manually. When you hit yes on that one UI panel, on this, it's doing a bunch of shit manually. It sure is. And we don't want this to happen. This needs to be, some other thing needs to control this. I guess we'll have the banker control it. And then we'll just have the banker do it. Yeah, like this part. This is it, actually. And then the banker charges for the building. So we're going to need the banker build building. And we're going to pass in the fuck are we passing that in for? And that should actually be called build improvement. It makes it so much less fun, though. Uh, this isn't gonna quite work, but we'll fix it as well. Deduct cost of building. We have charge for building. This is done. And we need this to end here, though. Then these are no longer in use. These are toast. We do that a different way now. This count idle workers, we actually need that, but in a different spot. I didn't even think about that. That's going to be under county info panel. Where the fuck that thing is. Where'd you go? I guess I just call it counties. This needs to be done every time something, every morning when something is built. The next round is going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of stuff that we're going to be going back and improving. All right, so we have charge for building, check for enough food, find the food building, and then we need to have the build the building, which I had another script called county improvements or build buildings or some shit. And maybe we should do that. I'm just going to have the banker do it for now. It's not really the banker's job. If you think about a banker, they don't build buildings. This can go. We don't need this shit. Build improvements. Public void build improvements. And we're going to pass in the county or the improvement, county improvement. Jesus Christ, data. See, this is the thing I was just talking about where this is not going to work is what I was. Currently, that's, oh, no, this is not. It's going to be this. And then we'll put a GD print right here. County improvement data, improvement name is being built. All right, that's all it's doing right now, but I think we're going to have it do other stuff later. So that's why I'm breaking these into little pieces here, is so we can have them all be doing other things at other times. So this is build improvements now. Build improvements. And then we need to pass in the actual improvement, not this thing. This thing, whoops. This is a control. What do we have on here? We actually had it right here. What were we doing? Oh, I deleted it already. Do I still have it on my clipboard? No. We gotta go We're gonna get some. We gotta step through this thing. County. I need to look at what this script is though, because my terrible fucking memory. What does this script look like? Okay, so there's a county improvement data is attached to this. All right. So on this, I don't think we can do this. No, we can't. We're gonna have to do a step. So and then in here, we got that. Then what do we got? Check for building buildings. We just made a bunch of changes, so I'm going to comment this back out again. And we'll run it. And we'll build a building. Here's the thing. Nails? Where did I have nails? This should be faction data. There we go. Let's hope I don't have any nails. Cranes? Oh, like if they have the stuff to build it? The actual equipment? Right now we don't not checking any of that. Whoops. We're just we're doing the bare minimum. Oh, see. All right, wait. Stop doing what you're doing. There we go. Let's see here. Faction 1 found Fisher's Shack. I guess we don't have a GD print for if they don't have, if they fail to check, but they don't have they have enough food, so they didn't do it, which is what we wanted. We gave them whatever, 5,000 food or something. We gave them some amount of food. Food building is the Fisher's Shack. That is successful. Fisher's Shack is being built, so it's actually started building. It actually got to that part and it did it. So that all worked. I'm going to put this down at the bottom. I got to go back and test this at a time that I'm not streaming. Maybe. Got to learn more. I thought I had learned a little bit about the switch pattern thing, but I did not. All right, so then back to this. We can actually we can use this. Data faction name is building. So if the food building is not, because it can return null if it doesn't have any buildings that it can build. And it checks the cost. So it's going to check like, do they have enough money for it? And they actually don't right now, so it should fail. Then this is where we're at the banker dot instance dot build improvements. Is that what I called the thing? Obviously not. Improvements. Improvements. It's only building one improvement. It's not doing more than one. Build improvements. And then it's going to pass in the faction data? No, it's just going to pass in the building. Because it doesn't care. We don't care. It knows what it's part of. And then if it doesn't have anything, if there's nothing, if it returns null, we do faction has no available food buildings. And this shit can get out of here because we don't do this anymore. Oh, no, no. Doesn't have enough influence. And then this one, food building is null. And then what the fuck is this? Oh, all right. No, this is good. This is good. I don't know. Why does my thing look like a finger? Is it always like that? No, it's like a cursor. No, there we go. It was just busted. All right. So the faction ID or AI, this is all we're going to make it do if this is. So then it's going to be built by the people that we wrote yesterday, hopefully. Because I did it differently than I did it in the other, there was a signing of things. So let's see here. The first day has passed. AI1 is building a fishing shack. AI1 doesn't have enough influence. AI2 has enough food. The shipbirds have enough food. We got a problem there. We need to and faction data is player equals false. We don't. It can check for food if it wants, I guess. Do we want to waste its time? Or we could put another whole if statement up at the top. We don't want it to check the player factions is what is going on here. We don't want to be building shit for us. It may have built something for us, actually. I wonder if that oh, because we have enough food. This is all going to go in here. All right. Now we're going to do it again. And I should probably give the factions some influence so it can. All right, faction 1. Man, this is bringing back the Unity memories because of the log messages. Because man, I had to run this a bunch originally. Might have to do it again right now. Faction 1 is building a fisher's shack. They don't, you know what? Wants to build a. It wants to. All right, one more run here. But that looks like that's all working for him to me. And then let's give faction 2 here. We will give you 5,000. Then Fisher's Shack is being built. Whoops, the workday is over. Oh no, we got a bug. Fisher's Shack is being built, and then Faction 2 has enough food. So what happened here? What did it say was? Check for buildings has a null reference. Where? Oh, that's true. It can return null. All right, 1 a.m. is passed. Fisher's Shack is being built. I don't know how the fuck we're gonna tell that that's actually working. Then we need the workday to end. I swear the time looked like it sped up there for a second. Workday is over. That doesn't matter for the first workday. Does it? They've already set it to build. It won't matter till this second day. And then Fisher Shack is already being built. Food building is null. So the first day, let me think if this is right. The first day, the player can set up their shit. The AI factions were already set up their shit. It's 3 a.m. It would have said, we can't see it, but it would say, like, it would have assigned the people, except I don't see any people getting assigned here. And then the day is over. We should have seen, let's wait for, maybe we need to wait one more day, but that's not how we want it to work. We need to put in some sort of check for, just to make sure this shit's working. To say, like, everyone who's building, we'll just put in like a thing somewhere that everyone who's building and we'll say what they're building. I guess I don't have that script open. It's this one. Okay, so there's the decide next. This should be printing something. I think we're missing. We're missing. So it's saying. It's saying it's being built right here. So this should be is being built, and then the population. So it goes from the. It's we'll change this back to node thing. It's because it fucking wants me to. It always wants me to. And then we'll go from here. We'll do. Then we'll go. Then we'll go here. All right, don't let me. It's fine. Whoops. I don't think this was the problem, but it does not like when I do that. So I'm just not going to do it anymore when I put this stuff here. This is fine, but this. Okay, so it goes through. It's going to get for each node in the county. It's going to say under construction improvements. There's the problem right there. So when the banker changes this to is being built, we need to also, where do we keep this shit? Is it county based? It is. We need the banker to also add it to that other list. What is in here? Do we have the county data or any shit in here? Doesn't look like it. Let's look at it. Just look at it here. I don't have that open either. I must have just closed it. So we're going to have to pass in the improvement and the county the improvements in. I rolled over my I rolled over my cord here. So county data under construction improvements needs to be added there. Then when I have this manually happening here. No, I don't. So that reparents, that updates the possible building labels. This becomes that. Then we charge for the building. Maybe that's in the. Oh, it is. Okay, so that's the problem. This can go back here, actually. And get rid of this shit. I don't think we're charging for the building. And it's the charging for the building that adds it to the queue. Man, this is convoluted. There's got to be a better way to do this. Build improvements. It probably needs something else. Faction, I would assume. I'm just guessing. No, it's wrong. What do we need? Uh, charge for food building. It needs the county. Okay, that makes sense. Do we know the county? Charge for building. We know. It goes through the faction. It says there's not enough food. It finds a food building. And this thing should be going through. Okay, so we know that. Man. Oh, it needs it because it's adding it to this list. This county keeps a list of all of the under construction uh, buildings. And since we're already getting it, we might as well get the faction thing as well from there. Instead of passing 3 in, because we actually need the faction data for the influence, so we need but this thing so the thing we were talking about yesterday, actually, like, do we want a list of the counties, or does the county improvement need to know the county that it's in? Has now uh, shown that it does. It needs to know where it exists. I wonder if this possible building control has any info in it. We can dig it out of there. Oh, look, it has the county improvement data, and the county improvement data has it inside of it. I don't like that. Charge for building is the thing that is going to cause us the problem. Check cost of building. We have the faction and we have the building. Charge for building. We have no other way. Find food building. And that returns the food building. Find food building. I'm trying to see if how we like it. There's got to be. Okay, that's the list. Can we return 2 things? I think there's a name for that. Not a truple. Maybe it's a treble. Return 2 values. Oh god, this is old. Oh, it's a tuple, not a truple. It's a tuple. But we're using 6. It's not an ace. Oh, I see how they're. Really? Thank you. No, but this isn't. I need this. Let me see. Let me ask Chat GPT. Sometimes it's useful, and this seems like something it would be able to handle. You gotta like kind of pick your battles with Chat GPT. Uh, all right, let's see here. I bought my parents a PlayStation, and I said when they don't use it, my nieces could use it, and they're 10, and they want to buy them another game for Christmas, and I was like, I don't know what 10-year-olds like, so I asked ChatGPT. It was awful. It did not give me good recommendations. Let's see here. I want a method to return two different things. How do I do that in C sharp? Okay, so this is the thing, but I'm using C sharp 6. I am using C sharp 6, I believe. It's like, oh, well, then you're fucked. Yeah, I bought, like I said, it's uh, was it? It's for my parents to try to get them into video games, but um, okay, so I have to use the word tuple. This seems unusually easy. What happens if I just try this one? Let's see what it does. Public static. Wait, public static. Using out parameters. Oh, maybe that's what we want to do. Let me rethink this whole thing. My parents don't know anything about video games. They do now. I bought them Stardew Valley and Red Dead Redemption 2. Um, I was trying to get them into them. Red Dead Redemption 2 is really hard for a person who's never played a video game, like the controller part. I was shocked at how much difficulty they're having. It made sense after like they never held a controller in their 70 years of life, and I was it's obvious for us. Like you pick it up, you go like that. And they're holding it upside down. No, it wasn't that bad, but it was the thing was making their two thumbs work in opposite directions. That was the main thing. Like in Red Dead Redemption, you control the camera with your right stick and Arthur with your left, and that was the part that was really hard for him. Um, so I don't think they like that. I didn't think about the difficulty in playing, so it's really really hard for them. Like because they're having a hard time pointing. So it's like, wow, this game is hard. Um, Stardew Valley was not difficult, and that they got the hang of. So I should have bought him like a more beginner game. I didn't even think about the controller issue. Um, so, but they're gonna buy the niece's one, and I think we decided on Minecraft, and that one I can play with my parents in an attempt to get them to also play video games. Uh, so I think I got to do this differently. I can do a tuple and all that shit, but I think there's probably a better way to do it. We go through each faction and it finds the food building. This really is the best spot for it, though, because it just finds the building. Man, that really is because it's finding them. We already have it checking in this shit. So how does that out shit work? Maybe I'll use this out shit. Let's see here. I did grow up with them. I started like when I was like 10. I got a computer. Um, write this with 2 out. With 2 out. 1 for. Did I grab the right thing? Oh, this is the. I did not grab the right thing. Find food building. 1 for faction data and 1 for county improvement, 1 for county data, 1 for county improvement data, and 1 for county data. Yeah, it was an Apple IIe. Apple IIe. Um, and you had to load everything from, it was all DOS, and you had to load everything. And did you do it, or did you just? Oh, I think it did it. Yeah, no, floppy disk. Uh, I went to visit. So my dad lives in Oregon on the coast, and I was probably like 12 or something, and I was leaving my beloved computer behind, and I didn't. There's nothing to do on the coast of Oregon when you're a kid, so I'd hang out at the library there and read books. And I was like, I can't remember how it came up, but like the librarian there was like, "Oh, we have a computer." And they're like, just no one knew how to set it up. It's just in the back storage area. So it was also an Apple. I think it was an Apple IIe. I'm not 100% sure it was an Apple, but it had a tape drive like for cassette tapes, and so you would like set it all up and you would hit play. Like you would set it. You would in like DOS. You would say like, get ready for the data from the tape. Then you hit play on the tape deck, and then you'd wait for a while, and then it was done. And then the game could run or whatever. Then you would run the game after it loaded the data. And that blew my mind, both that it was just sitting somewhere, packed away, and that they let my like 12-year-old ass go set it up. And all the kids came over to play video games. And then they also would let me take the data cassette thing home so I could listen to my cassette tapes on it, like musical tapes. It was crazy. Um, no, like like these. I was hoping it would give me a picture of a like this. Yeah, exactly like the ones for music. But they had like a professional label from the video game or whatever. Um, I'm curious. I don't remember what games we had. Yeah, it was something like this. Maybe it was a Commodore 64 that was there. Yeah, it was crazy. So it took a while to load it though. Like you didn't hit play and like it started. You hit play on the cassette thing. Maybe this is what it was. I don't remember it looking like that, but that was 150 years ago. But yeah, you hit play and you had to let it like read the data for quite a while. It looked like this. This is what it looked like. Whatever this is. Oh, this is a Nintendo? Maybe it was like an early Nintendo or something. I remember it being an Apple IIe, but I don't actually that's what my first computer looked like. But yeah, but no, they never had any interest in that. And so I was trying to get them into it. Okay, so this is how we do this. This actually isn't going to be that bad. I was thinking maybe this is going to be a nightmare. I'm just going to copy their chat GPT code here, and we're going to put it straight in here. And then we're going to, why are we getting any bugs? Oh, this is like an override. I don't like overrides. I still don't understand why you wouldn't just name them something different. Yeah, I don't think the cassette thing was very popular or lasted very long. So what does this thing say? And then on this side we say, okay, I see how this works now. So we go like this, and then we we need another one here though. So supposedly, no, it's fine. It's totally fine. My parents love video games, or so not video games. My parents love plants. They love plants. They just love fucking plants. They're really into plants. They're hippies, and they're into plants. What happened? Charge for build. So this is what we're trying to fix. Is right here. Faction AI. Well, let me fix this other thing. Well, it says that I already fixed it, huh? They used to. They used to pretty regularly. They hid it from me as a child. All right, so we check for building cost. Did I do this right? I have a feeling I did something. Find food building. No, it's right here. This should be... So it checks if there's enough food. If there's not, it's going to find the food building and it's going to return these things, the food building and the county the food building is in. I'm not quite sure. No, because it's finding the food building. It's going through the list of the county the faction has. Then if the food building is not null, which is this thing, it runs through this. You know what we need to do, just in case I have a feeling, and county data is not equal to null. Then it charges for the food building. It checks for the cost. If the cost is good, it charges for the food building. It builds the improvement. And when it gets charged, then this will solve. I don't like this here. Um, where was our build improvement thing? Did I stick it all the way at the bottom? I did. I think this should be here. The witness. You know, I've thought about it. The problem is that uh, I do know of that game, but I don't know how it works. This should just charge. We're gonna fix this. And this is gonna change to faction. I'm just fucking everything up. And this is gonna be faction data, and we'll go like this because this doesn't make any sense to have this do this in here when we have this build improvements thing. It will kick this in, but then we're gonna pass in county data, and then that will work. But we're gonna bust these other ones. Charge for building should be faction data. And this is going to return county data. And then there should be some busted stuff for the player. Right here, build improvements should be... Do we not know the county that this is in? No, we do. It's going to be global... Wait, we have it right there. County... We don't have it right here. We're going to have to do... I'm going to put this at the top, actually. Sorry, I'm going to look at chat in a second. I'm on a roll, I feel like. Maybe not. I'm on somewhat of a roll. We need this, actually. We don't need this other shit. We just need... We need that. That's going to be at the top. This is going to be here. This is going to be faction data. Right? Yes. All right. So I used to go like hiking and stuff with my parents all the time. In fact, when I went down there on Thanksgiving, they wanted to go hiking. They love hiking too. Maybe that like Firewatch game. But oh, so this is the thing with them is that one time I got him some books on plants, and they were like, "We really appreciate these books, but we don't need any more books on plants." Like we have because they have this huge thing. It was books they didn't have. They were just like, "No, we don't." Like they appreciate the gesture, but they don't want any more books on plants. So I don't know, like if they would be into that, like hiking games or whatever, walking simulators, because I think they would rather do that in real life. So I was trying to pick them stuff. Yeah, exactly. And you know the other thing with it, that I didn't think they were like that, but they mentioned it was they're not really into cars that much, and in my Discord, because I brought this up, like, what do you think about games? Someone said, get them in like a racing game or something, and I did not think they'd be in that at all. But they actually said, like, it might be fun if we could race against each other, and I was like, that can be done. And they're like, there's games like that, and I was like, yeah, because they're like backseat driver each other. And I was like, yeah, you guys can race against each other, definitely. All right, we made like 1,000 changes here. So they're they're gonna get Minecraft for the nieces, and then I can play that with them. But I was thinking Gran Turismo. All right, look at all this shit that just went down. Faction 1 found a Fisher Shack. Faction 1 wants to build a Fisher Shack. A Fisher Shack is being built. Is being built. Do we know that? We don't know. We don't know the thing. Wait. We do. Building. It's kind of pointless when there's no. It doesn't say who's doing anything. Sorry, my thing's over chat somehow. So then they mentioned Mario Kart today. They're retired now. My mom used to run this like seed horticulturist thing, and my stepdad's a bioengineer. But they met at like some sort of plant place. All right, so Faction 2 has enough money. So this is working. Like this is Amanda Allen is because we fixed that list thing. Amanda Allen's building all that stuff because I didn't build anything. Oh, here's like a typo. And it's still saying they're building something. Fisher Shack has completed 5 work. So this is working. Workday is over. What time is it? Because that would be, yeah. Here, what's this? They are. That's not. There we go. They're finally, they like volunteer and do all this shit. So they're actually really busy people too. And as I'm getting older, I'm understanding why people have all these like hobbies and shit when they get old. I used to be able to do nothing for like hours and hours, and now I can't do it. And so that's like why I stream and stuff too. I actually stream and teaching myself how to program is because I can't sit idle. Like I used to be able to sit idle for days and like just play video games and stuff. I gotta be doing stuff. All right, so I think this is working. I'm almost positive this is all working correctly. I wonder if there's something else we could test. Oh, you know what? I haven't built something myself while that's going on. The fuck is this? I didn't build that. Did I? I don't think I did. That would be a bug. If it is, I'm just going to call it a day. Yeah, it is a bug. I thought I skipped over. For each faction, if the faction is not the player, let's check. Maybe I'm not marked as a player faction. That would be weird, though. Is player. So my nieces had never played a video game either. At least not that anyone knew. They understood the controllers pretty quick, though. So they didn't know. It's like they must have played at friends' houses or something. But I wonder what happened here. Just making sure that I didn't have. But they figured out the controllers in like seconds. But they really like Stardew Valley. They're obviously not allowed to play Red Dead Redemption. Um, my mom Googled uh, video games for 10-year-old, and one of them on the list was Grand Theft Auto 5. I was like, no, that's not for 10-year-olds. And she was like, why not? And I'm like, you can buy hookers in that game. And my mom was like, yep, not for 10-year-olds. Like, nope, nope. Uh, and that's like, so violence is the other thing. My parents are like, no, they're really not into like shooting people in the face. So Red Dead Redemption, I knew was going to be kind of pushing it. Um, I'm not quite sure why this is firing off, but I think. Oh, was I in the wrong county? No, I'm on Portland. You know, we can look at these. I didn't even think about this. We can check these. We're not supposed to be allowed to, but we can. I'm wondering if it's like. I think it is. It's building like the Fisher Shack in every. Oh my God. I think I know what it's doing. Find food building. Um, no, this is going through the counties the faction owns. Well, you know what? My brain's starting to melt, so I'm actually going to call it a day, and maybe tomorrow I might do the heck. I keep saying this every time. But let me push this to its new branch. Let me close this thing. Well, let's go back a couple of steps here. Let's put. This should be over here. Let's put. Every county is building an improvement. I think this is what happening if one county, if one faction needs the improvement. I think it's going through. It's like, yeah, this one's good. We need a Fisher Shack. Then it goes through the whole county, all of the counties, and it assigns a Fisher Shack, which is not supposed to do that, obviously. So we need to do that first thing next time. Oh, I'm gonna probably do a game stream tonight. What is that? Friday, right? It is Friday. It'll be a new game. So Friday and Sundays, I'm trying to stream new games. Let's close this and this. It used to be Friday and Saturday, but I don't want to do Saturdays that much anymore. Sometimes I want to stream that, but I've noticed, and like I said this in another time, I don't have any data to back this up. It's just an impression. Saturdays usually are pretty dead on Twitch for me. So I'd rather either play an older game or not stream at all. And a lot of times I don't stream on Saturdays anyways. So we are going to have a new branch here, though. Factions AI. And that should be fine. We did kind of like a lot. Man, and there was like that 30-minute embarrassment where I was, yeah, let's not even talk about it again. Factions are now able to look for food, buildings, and build them. There is a bug. Exactly. I do Monday to Friday. All right. that is it for me. Thank you for dropping by, Lord Mac, and thank you everyone else. And I will talk to you next time. Have a good evening, day, life. All right.